Welcome back to the Cyclone Fanatic Halftime Show presented by the Iowa Pork Producers. We love the Iowa Pork Producers over here at Cyclone Fanatic. They've been great supporters of the podcast network for a very long time. I'm your host, Leah Nelson, alongside Chris Williams in the Wild Rose Casino studio. Iowa State is leading Kansas State 24-14 going into the half, and we'll get into it. But let's thank a few of our sponsors. We've got our friends over at Carl Auto Group. Make sure you go to Carl Auto Group for all of your vehicle needs. You can visit carlautogroup.com today. They've been a sponsor of Cyclone Fanatic for nearly 10 years, which is a really long time. So shout out to Carl Auto Group and our friends over at Central States Roofing. They have been a locally owned business for 56 years and counting. They have offices in Des Moines, Ames, and Fort Dodge, so you can visit csroofing.com for more. Chris.
Hello.
You look warm and toasty over in the press box.
It's actually it's quite warm in here.
Good. That's better than being outside.
Honestly, usually it's freezing up here, and I don't know if they've done some ventilation work, but it's quite nice. So yeah, it helps being up 10. But this is one of those deals where I don't think I'll be comfortable until the game is over and that's it. Iowa State could be up 17 with 2 minutes to play, and I won't be comfortable tonight.
Right. I agree. I feel like there's something kind of different in the air today. This game means a lot.
It does.
Really. So it's kind of stressful, and you don't want to get comfortable until that last whistle blows. So.
Yeah, and I mean everybody's in the comments. I can see it right now. I'm not even going to talk about. I'm not even going to talk about the other games and why that matters and all that stuff, because Iowa State has to win this game.
Right.
And, it ended well. It was really encouraging to see the end of that. I'm really encouraged that they're up 24-14, because Iowa State's offense until that last drive really has been bad. But the good thing is, Leah, they've taken advantage of turnovers. They really haven't shot themselves in the foot. When you go back to the games Iowa State lost this year, that was really what was going on. Other than the Kansas game was kind of weird, but you still you didn't score touchdowns in the red zone. There was a lot of meat left on the bone for Iowa State in that game to win it. But this is a game where it's Kansas State has moved the ball better. Kansas State's defense has probably played better, but Iowa State has been a better disciplined team. They haven't had the turnovers. They've been good on special teams. Now, having said that, Rocco Becht has left about 4 passes out there that could have been interceptions. A couple of them maybe pick sixes. So that's why y'all would have booed me when Iowa State got the ball with a minute 38 to go and they're on the 20-yard line. I was saying to the boys here in the press box, they should just freaking down it, because I don't trust Becht right now. He's all over the place. And then Sama breaks the run, they go down and score. So obviously you're not going to down it. I was being hyperbolic in that situation, but at that point, that's how I was feeling about Iowa State's offense. So that was really encouraging to me, that they were able to do something on the ground, move the ball. I understand what they're doing with their game plan. And the defense is really, other than one bad play, played pretty well, keeping Kansas State in front of them. And this is Avery Johnson. Playing this team, they're going to hit some big, and then he's going to screw up a couple of times per game. He did the one with the bad pitch to start things off that got things going. And you got to feel good right now, being up 10 if you're Iowa State. But I am not comfortable.
Right.
I am not comfortable whatsoever.
Could you give an injury update? I know there's some players back on the field, which is exciting. So,
well, when Malik Verdon doesn't start you're good. Malik Verdon doesn't start the game. That's a terrible, terrible way to start.
Right.
Maybe the most important player on Iowa State's defense. If you just go, when he's been in the lineup over the last 3 years, the defense is considerably better than when he's not. So that started off poorly, but then Jamison Patton jumps in, played really well. And I want to give a shout-out to 19, Tayshawn James. That guy was terrible, horrible in that Kansas game. One of the, honestly, didn't belong on the field. Wasn't in the right spot. When he was, he couldn't make a tackle. Dude has bowed up they deserve a ton of credit for developing that young man in season. And you never gave up on him. He was a freshman, right? Like, it's hard to throw him into that spot. But Verdon went out against Kansas. 19 came in the game, and it was over. Iowa State had no chance because he was out of he wasn't even close to being in position. Like this, he wasn't even in a spot where he could miss tackles. He was that far out. That dude has maybe been the player of the game for Iowa State's defense. So, like, that's a cool story of a young guy who got his ass kicked and got back up and took to coaching well. He's been really good. So, yeah, and then getting Patton back, having him there makes the Verdon loss sting a little bit less. J.R. Singleton has played a really good game.
Yes.
I thought when he went out a couple weeks ago it was season ender.
Yeah.
I really did. That's the vibe I was getting. Now, nobody could say that, to be sure. That is the vibe I got after that game. So to see him out there is a huge, huge blessing for Iowa State's defense. So, yeah, it's good stuff. I wish the offense has been more consistent. The good thing here, Leah, Iowa State deferred to start the game. They will get the ball to start the third quarter. So That's a big deal. And if Iowa State can, even if you don't score, man, get 5-6 minutes off the clock, and hopefully they can run the football a little bit better. And even if not, breaking a couple of runs. Jackson had one. Sama had one. You can develop the play-action pass a little bit here in the third quarter and go out. Man, if they go out and get a 17-point lead, it'd be hard to see them coughing that up in this football game.
I was going to say, is there any score that would make you kind of take a deep breath?
No.
I knew that was going to be your answer.
No. I just like I don't like. I'm not even the fan that expects the worst. Like, I'm not. It's just
right.
I've just seen too much, and I guarantee the people in our comments, the diehard clones in there, are feeling the same way. I just seen too much.
Right.
And I have respect for Kansas State. They're an explosive offense.
Yeah.
This is probably. I think that when they've played their best, they've been the best team in the conference this year. Having said that, they haven't been consistent.
Yep. And
that's kind of what we've seen tonight. There's been bursts of this Kansas State team that has been really good, and then when they've been bad, they've been bad. Here's the thing. They're the number one rush defense in the league. Iowa State has been very poor on the ground, I believe, over the last 5-6 weeks. You could probably say for the whole season in reality. So what do you do if you're Taylor Mauser going into this third quarter? I hope Iowa State stays aggressive. We've seen an aggressive game plan going forward on fourth down multiple times. We've seen John Haycock bring more pressure to frazzle the freshman quarterback from Kansas State. He's bringing it from all spots. I hope Iowa State doesn't see, we have a 10-point lead. Let's be conservative. No, absolutely not. Go for the jugular. That's what I want Iowa State to do. Keep going forward on fourth down. You be the aggressor. That's what I want. And I think that's Mauser's mentality. Haycock, I could see right now being like, hey, what we're doing is working for the most part. We don't need to change much. Right. But, yeah, no, there's no number that would make me comfortable at this point. And I'm serious. Rocco had a couple of really great plays. There was one touchdown pass where he felt the pocket, and it was maybe the best play he's made all year. I think it was the second touchdown for Iowa State. He's had 4 plays that he has thrown up for grabs. Knock it off. That is what will lose you this football game. When you're up 10, getting the ball in the third quarter, you control this. But the second you get a punt blocked, or they should have had a blocked punt, Leah, and there was it was a snap infraction. Iowa State got lucky they had a penalty. That punt would have been blocked, and it may have gone for a touchdown the other way. So it has been – this is why I'm not comfortable, because it's been this close. And Iowa State, to their credit, they have done a great job of doing what they didn't do in the Texas Tech game, where when you are given a gift, they have put it in the end zone. And that's how you're going to win this football game tonight. Keep doing stuff like that.
One last question. How's the atmosphere? Is it bumping?
Yeah, I think so. Honestly, it's a better crowd than I thought it would be. And I'm not being a jerk. I just know how hard it is to get students out when on break, and the crowd is great. It's not a sellout. I didn't think it would be. I would guess that there's 55,000 people here, and and these are my favorite games because it's the sickos. It's these people
that love it.
Yeah, these are my people. There's Carhartt everywhere. There's flasks. Everybody's got flasks, sneaking it in at Cody Road. That's what I love. And
that's good old Iowa State football.
Absolutely. That's what I love, and I love these crowds. It's just, listen, if the defense cannot give up it's okay to give up a touchdown if it's a drive. No more of the, 60-yard crap.
Right.
Like, that's the stuff that'll lose you this game. If you can keep everything in front of you on defense, and if the offense can avoid the big mistake, I like Iowa State's chances here. I just, like, the one thing, too? No, I'm sorry. I've been drinking Red Bull since 9 a.m., okay?
I love it. I can tell. It's rushing through your veins.
Yeah. It's just, this crowd deserves this moment. This team deserves this moment. It's a really special feel here. You've been around a long time, around Iowa State. Were you an Iowa State fan before you came here? No, it's okay. I wasn't either. It's okay. But you will be when you're my age. You're going to feel this way too.
Exactly.
These people deserve this. I just so badly, like the people in our chat who couldn't get here tonight, I just want these people to have this moment. We had this moment in 2020. Unfortunately, it was during COVID, and it was like half the stadium was here.
Right.
These people deserve this. Matt Campbell, they've done so much. What a good football program can do for your university and your local economy is unmatched by anything else. And, it has been a slow and steady climb. And to be in this spot where you can win 10 games for the first time in school history, and whatever happens with BYU Houston happens. But it won't take away if you can get to this moment and the celebration that will incur, which would at the very least, tie for a regular season championship in the Big 12. So that's why I'm all amped up, and I probably will be until about 4 o'clock in the morning. I might have to take a sedative to go to sleep tonight, we'll be honest.
That was really inspirational. I feel inspired. That was awesome. You're doing great. Love it. Thanks for all your input. You can tune back in, everyone, for our post game. We'll be back, and hopefully we're super happy and positive, and you're giving great speeches.
So. And now I will address the elephant in the room. So even if Iowa State wins this, they're not guaranteed a spot in the Big 12 championship.
Right.
BYU is a 13-point favorite over Houston. That game kicks off pretty soon because this game is taking forever. One of the longest. Yeah. This going to replay 15 times a game has got to stop.
It's been a lot.
Oh, my God. These poor people sitting out here in the cold, these players, the band, what are we doing? And we wonder why people don't want to go to the games anymore.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you got the best seat in the house tonight.
I do. Relaxing, watching some TV.
Yeah, you can have a cocktail. You can do whatever you want. Here, every, 6 plays they're going to replay. It's just been – it's such a slog of a game. And there's got to be something we can do better. I'm not saying get rid of replay. It has its place in the game. It clearly is there's benefits to it, but my God, this has just been an abomination of replay tonight. So my point is the BYU game is going to kick off probably in the third quarter.
9:15 is their kickoff. 9.
Yes, 9:15. So they kick off in about 45 minutes or so.
Yep.
Or 35 minutes or so. So, yeah, we're going to have a decent idea. Just root for Iowa State and root for BYU. Root for Iowa State first. I am a firm believer, and don't pay attention to that. I haven't watched. All these guys are texting me about Cincinnati. I don't care. Iowa State has to win. Then you worry about the other stuff. 1,000%. And the reason Iowa State is in this spot is because they lost too many games. It's nobody's fault except Iowa State. Don't lose 2 games. You lost 2 games. You don't have the right to control your own destiny, just like those other teams.
Period. Mic drop. Thank you for all your input. You guys can join in and watch us. Of course, watch us in the post game. And thanks again to all of our sponsors, Iowa Pork Producers, Carl Auto Group, and Central States Roofing. Go Cyclones.